Hello students, in previous class we discussed about what do you mean by the dielectric and polar and non-polar dielectrics, and what do you mean by the capacitors and capacitance, and what is the unit of the capacitor, capacitance, farad, and we derived the expression for the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor when with the dielectric and even without the dielectric also we have seen. Then remember what would be happening to the capacitance of the capacitor, parallel plate capacitor. When we introduce the dielectric, the capacitance will be increased to k times. See capacitance k epsilon naught A by D. That means the capacitance will be increased to the previous value. So increased to k times. Then let us see, when we have taken different capacitors, if these capacitors connected to the series combination or if they are connected parallel combination, what will be the resultant capacitance we will discuss in today's class. Capacitors, combination of the capacitors in series. Capacitors in series. Let us take, we have three capacitors or 3 or 2, any number of capacitors can be taken. Let us, the capacitor is C1 and one more capacitance of the capacitor which is connecting C2 in a same line side by side. Okay. And end to end connection, even it is also called as end to end connection. And even you can take one more capacitor. Let me take here only two capacitors. If these two capacitors connecting series combination, if this is plus and it is minus, if it is plus and it is minus. First terminal, second terminal, the first one is to be first terminal, second one and so on, like that will be connected. Now, when we connect to a battery to this combination, the current flows to this, That means these capacitors get charged. Is it okay? C1, C2 are capacitances of capacitors, and when they are connected in series combination, charge across the each is remains same. Charge is same each capacitor. But what will happen? There is some potential difference. Let us take A, B, and C. Here we have separating voltage potential. So what will happen? The potential there will be some potential difference across AB, and even the potential difference across BC also takes place. That means when the capacitors are connected in series combination, charges remain same, but potential difference is not same. Potential difference varies or not. So what do you get here? Potential. Let us see the potential difference across each combination. Okay, we know normally capacitance is equal to what? C is equal to Q by V. From this one, potential difference is equal to what? V is equal to Q by C. Now, let me write the potential difference across first capacitor and potential difference across second capacitor. So that what will be the resultant potential difference? V is equal to V1 plus V2. Is it? Therefore, potential difference across first capacitor V1 is equal to Q by C, because charge is nothing but what? Q1. Charge is Q only. Here also charge is what? Q1. Charge remains same. Similarly, potential difference across second capacitor V2 is equal to Q by C2. Then total potential difference across combination. Combination of C1 and C2. V is equal to what I get here? V1 plus V2. But V1 is nothing but Q by C1. V2 is nothing but what? Q by C2. Therefore, let me write here V is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2, that is equal to Q take it common 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 V. Let me take your first equation. Now let me remember that, let me take that instead of taking two capacitors, I will take only single capacitance of capacitor, single capacitor of capacitance, which is having same value as that of the combination, which is having the same value as that of the combination. Is it? So what do we get here? What do we get here? Then the potential difference across the equivalent combination, the capacitance of the equivalent combination is C. Is it okay? Is the combination of capacitors is replaced by a single capacitor of capacitance Cs, and this is called equivalent capacitance of the circuit. Is it okay? A single capacitor which is having same effect of the combination is called equivalent capacitance. Therefore, potential difference across this combination V is equal to Q by Cs. Total potential is same potential supply. Therefore, let us take like it is Cs and V is what? Potential V, charges Q. Then what is potential difference across this equivalent capacitance? Q by Cs. What do you mean by equivalent capacitance? A single capacitor which produces the same effect as that of the combination of the capacitors is called equivalent capacitance. Then you equate the first one and the second one. Q by Cs is equal to 1 Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Q get cancelled. Then what is 1 by Cs is equal to what? 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 is the equivalent combination of the capacitor. Equivalent combination of the capacitance in series combination. Now remember, the equivalent capacitance in series combination is less than that of the individual single capacitor. Is it okay? Similarly, let us discuss about the capacitance of the capacitors in parallel. For example, if you have taken n identical capacitors, what is it? For n identical capacitors, 1 by Cs is equal to what? 1 by C plus 1 by C plus and so on, 1 by C for n, that is equal to what? N by C. Then Cs is equal to what again? C by n, capacitance. Here for two capacitors means what you can write? C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 for two capacitors. Then let us see the capacitors of the capacitance of the capacitors in parallel combination. Is it okay? Same as that one, but every day here two capacitors are parallel. How do we take parallel combination? This is first capacitor, and if you are taking one more capacitor which is having C1 and C2 like that. All first ends are given to the first terminals to the one end. All second terminals to the other end. Is it okay? A and B. N. Like that. Now, whenever a potential difference is applied in parallel combination, which is remains constant in parallel combination, potential difference is remains same, because potential difference is depends upon only endpoints. For these two capacitors, the endpoints are same. Therefore, potential difference across the combination is remains same. Here the potential difference across the combination is remains same. But what will happen? Charge on each capacitor will be different. Charge on each capacitor will be changes. Charge on each capacitor changes. Each capacitor changes. Because so whenever a Q charge is going, what will happen here? Q1 charge appears across C1 and Q2 charge appears across C2. Is it okay? Q1, Q2 charge will be divided. Remember, you are traveling in one line. When you are traveling in one line, what happens? All the persons have to travel in the same path. But after this one, if you have two paths, some person may follow this path, some person may follow this path. Then what is the total number of the paths? 6 is equal to this only. So that is what Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 when you have different paths. Now, so that what you can write here, charge on each capacitor will be changes, but what is the total charge? Q is equal to what? Q1 plus Q2. But let us find what is charge on each capacitor. Charge on capacitor C1, Q1 is equal to C1 into V. Potential differences remain same only. Then C1 is equal to what again? C1 Q1 is equal to C1V. Similarly, charge on capacitor C2 is equal to Q2 is equal to what? C2. Now, total charge of the combination. Total charge of the combination Q is equal to what? Q1 plus Q2. Now add those, then Q is equal to C1V plus C2V. That is equal to V. Can you take common? V is taken common. Q is equal to what? C1 plus C2 into V. Q is equal to C1 plus C2 into V. Now, if the combination of the capacitors is replaced, let us take this is what first. Is it? If the combination of the capacitors is replaced by a single capacitor or capacitance Cp, which is called equivalent capacitance of the capacitor. Is it okay? Then what is charge on the capacitor? Charge across this one. Charge across Cp. Q is equal to Cp into V. Now we add both of those. Is it okay? Remember, what do you mean by the parallel combination? When we have taken number of capacitors, all the first terminals are given to the one end, all the second terminals are given to the other end, and that combination is called parallel combination. Now then, what is the total charge? And this from first and second equations, what you can write here? First one. Second one is what? CPV. Instead of Q, you can write CPV is equal to V is remains common, then C1 plus C2. V and V cancel. Therefore, Cp is equal to C1 plus C2. C1 plus C2. That means in parallel combination, the equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of the individual capacitance of the capacitors. Therefore, equivalent capacitance will be increases in parallel combination. Then, for an identical capacitors, for n identical capacitors, what is capacitance? Cp is equal to what? N into C. Just will add all the capacitances. This is what the capacitance of the capacitors in parallel combination. Just we have seen for series combination, and thereafter we have seen for parallel combination of the capacitors in capacitance combination. And just we see that the combinations of the capacitors in parallel combination and series. Then what is the purpose of the capacitor? to store the charge, which is nothing but it can store the energy. Then what will be the energy stored in a capacitor? Let us discuss. Energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor. Then what would be the energy stored in a capacitor? Let us take a capacitor of capacitance which is having charge plus parallel plate capacitor plus, and here we have a charge minus. Now what do you mean by the energy? Energy is nothing but energy is the capacity for doing work. Capacity to do work, which is nothing. What is work? Work done in moving a charge from one plate of the capacitor to the another plate of the capacitor. Let us say the purpose of the capacitor is to store charge. But whenever it is storing charge, whenever it is getting to be charged, we have to transfer the charge against the electric field. If you have taken positive, this is what electric field. In this case, electric field between. Now, to transfer the charge against that electric field, we need to do work done. Then if you have taken the charge here plus q and minus q, let us take as the time increases, the charge across these plates of the capacitor increases. Now, to transfer this charge q across this plate, what will be the work done? That is nothing but the energy stored. That work done will be stored as a energy in the capacitor. But let me take here the plate potential difference across plates of capacitor V dash, because at any instant, at certain instant we are taking, then V dash is equal to, let us take for q by c. At that instant, if the charge across this plate is q by c, then V dash is equal to what? Q by c. But work done to transfer dq charge, instead of taking total charge, first we find for dq charge, then after we can calculate for entire charge of the capacitor. To store entire charge, what would be the energy stored? Then what done to transfer dq charge, which is dw is equal to, what is work done is nothing but V dash into dq. Remember, potential is nothing but work done in moving a charge from this work done is equal to what? Vq. Then dw is equal to what? V dash dq. Then V dash is nothing but what? Q by c into dq. This is what is called. Then the total work done in transferring a charge from where initially it is no charge, it has no charge, then to transfer from 0 to what is total charge? Q. Then what will be the work done? Total work done for to store Q charge, W is equal to integral dW, and what would the limits here? 0 to Q. Substitute those values, integral dW is nothing but what? Q by C dQ. Q by C dQ. Q by C dQ. And what would the limits here? 0 to Q. 0 to Q. That is equal to Q dQ, 1 by C. C is constant. Then integral Q dQ, 0 to Q. Then 1 by C into Q dQ means what here? Q square by 2, x square by 2. Q square by 2. Limits are from where to where? 0 to 2. So first we will substitute Q square by 2C. And this water will be stored as energy. Therefore, energy E is equal to half R into U is equal to Q square by 2. But even this one we can write even in terms of only capacitance and potential difference. Already known what is Q value. Q is equal to what? C into V. Then you substitute. Therefore, energy is equal to U is equal to C square V square by 2C. This one cancels. Then what is the difference? Half into CV square. Half into CV square. Or even you can write half into CV square. CV square can be written as CV into V. Half into CV into V. CV is nothing but what? Q into V. Q into V. So this is what we energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in capacitor. See, U is equal to what? Half into Q. Then energy. What would be the energy in terms of this? Energy is equal to what? Half CV square. But let me write here. As for parallel plate capacitor, C is nothing but what you know? Epsilon naught A by D. Epsilon naught A by D. Whereas V is nothing but what? V is equal to E into D. E is equal to V by D. Then E is equal to VD. V is equal to ED. Electric field and D. Separation between the plates. In between the plates of the capacitor, we have electric field E. Then V is equal to E into D. Now I explain this one. Half into epsilon naught A by D into E square D square. Here one D gets cancelled. Then what is remaining? Half epsilon naught E square into A into D. Here A and D. Here E is nothing but what? Electric field. E is electric field. A is the area of the plates of the capacitor. D is separation between the plates of the capacitor. Then what is AD reference? AD is nothing but volume of the capacitor. Is it? Therefore, energy U is equal to half epsilon naught E square into volume. Then energy by volume, which is called energy density. What do you mean by energy density? Energy per unit volume. Energy by volume is equal to half epsilon naught E square. Half epsilon naught E square is the energy densities of the parallel plate capacitor. So this is what the energy stored in the capacitor and what would be the energy density in terms of the electric fields. So what would be the force acting the plates of the capacitor? Force of plates of the capacitor. So what do you know? F is equal to what? Q into E. Okay. But remember, when you are taking the capacitor plates, what is the electric field between the plates of the capacitor? E is equal to sigma by, that means on it, for example, if you are taking this plate plus charge is Q, here minus Q, then on this plate of the capacitor, due to this one, we will have electric field E. Then force on each plate of the capacitor. What is the electric field on this plate capacitor? E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Then sigma is nothing but what? Q by A. Then Q by 2 epsilon naught A. Substitute that one. Therefore, force on each plate of the capacitor F is equal to Q into E is nothing but what you know? Q by 2 epsilon naught A. Then F is equal to Q square by 2 epsilon naught A is a force acting on each plates of the capacitor. Then what is the force between the plates of the capacitor? F is equal to Q into A. E. Q is nothing but what? E is sigma by epsilon. Q square by epsilon E. Is it? This is what force acting on the plates of the capacitor. In today's class, we have discussed about the capacitors when they are connected in series combination, what will happen, and parallel combination equivalent capacitance. And thereafter, we will have seen here the energy stored in a capacitor and what do we mean by the energy density in terms of the electric field of epsilon naught E square. Energy density is nothing but energy per unit volume. But energy of the capacitor is nothing but what? Half epsilon naught E square into volume. That we need to remember. And force acting on each base of the capacitor is nothing but Q square by 2A epsilon naught. So in next class we discuss about the capacitors based the applications and which are related to the textbook or object part.